Building a sustainable authorship and author career isn't just about luck. It's a lot about strategy and how you work with everything that you've got to make sure that it actually happens. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about the roadmap that I'm using to create a sustainable author career in the long run. If you're serious about your writing, this video is for you. And for those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Natalie Forslind. I am a Swedish author, growth marketer, and entrepreneur who is currently working on building an author career. I recently launched the 66-day writing challenge, which is one of my most popular courses that I have in Swedish that I actually turned into a book. I will link to a video about the book if you're curious about this one, but this is just one of the things that I'm doing to build a author career in the long run. And one thing that you do need to have, keep in mind when it comes to your writing career, it's the ever-changing landscape of authorship. Especially right now, in the age of AI, a lot of people are actually worried about what will happen when it comes to writers, when it comes to authorship. But the thing is, I'm actually not that worried. I think that it's still very much possible to create an author career. If you feel the same, then I'm so happy, because the thing is, this video is not going to be about AI, but I guess since I brought it up, I have to keep on talking about it. I think that AI could be used as a tool for us as writers, and I don't think that it will take our jobs as authors. I mean, to be honest, it's really hard. It was really hard to make a living as an author before AI, so it will continue to be hard. But if we use AI tools, maybe we can actually speed up the process and become better writers. But this video is not about AI, so I'm going to leave it at that. But the thing is, readers' markets and the landscape keeps on changing. And you, as an author, if you want to build a career out of this, you need to keep track of all the changes, and you need to stay on top of things. So, right now, it's very easy to self-publish books. This means that you as an author, it doesn't matter if you're an indie author or if you're traditionally published. I myself are both, and you are competing with a lot of different people and a lot of different authors when it comes to the reader's attention. So that makes it extra important for you to know where to find your readers, where they are, what kind of things they like. And I write in Swedish and then I translate books to English usually. So some of the books that I write, they are here in Sweden. We have a huge market when it comes to audiobooks. So audiobooks are a lot more popular than ebooks. That means that I know that I need to make sure that my books are available as audiobooks. That's super important, because otherwise I probably won't reach any audience at all here in Sweden. But when it comes to the international market, when it comes to English-speaking countries, you guys, like in the UK, in the US and stuff like that, it's not as popular yet with audiobooks. At least it's not the same models as we have here in Sweden yet. That means that in those countries, it's much more important to make sure that there are good ebooks and stuff like that. So you need to understand what the market looks like and what your readers are looking for. This also depends on what kind of genre you're writing in. If you're writing a romantasy or fantasy or something that is very popular, on Kindle Unlimited, then maybe that should be the approach that you take with English texts. If you know that a lot of those readers are on KDP, then go for KDP. If you, on the other hand, know that they love reading like these paperbacks, then go for that. This means that you need to understand the market and do some research, and also you need to make sure that you are up to date when things are changing. For me, this means that I listen to a bunch of podcasts about the writing market, both here in Sweden and internationally, so that I make sure that I'm up to date and I understand, I can create a strategy that is based on data. And also, try to stay on top of things when it comes to social media. If things are trending, if you see shifts there, that's great. If this is for you to learn, if you see that a lot of people love romantasy and love like more like gray dark characters, then if you have that in your book, you should talk about it as well, bring it up. Or maybe you're considering, should I write a mystery book or should I do this? Look at what is trending right now. I mean, it's not always good to follow trends because things are happening and shifting really fast, but sometimes it's good to also follow their trends and listen to them. And one thing that I heard that one writer do when it comes to this, she actually hardcore studies the different books in the genre she's going to write and looks at the tropes that keeps on coming back, like how are the characters described and stuff like that. And she looks at what's popular, looks at what other authors do good, and she learns from that and uses that in her novels, which means that she can create really great content that the readers love. And this is something that you can do too. But this means that you do have to put in, some work. You can't just write whatever you feel like and hope that someone will read it. Then you're probably not taking your authorship seriously, at least not in the way that I mean. I mean that planning becoming an author, full-time author, thinking of it as a business. And this can also be, new ways of connecting to your readers. I think that Joanna Penn actually publishes some of her books on YouTube so that people can listen to them. This means that if they listen for free, almost for free, to an audiobook on YouTube, she will still get the AdSense revenue from it, which is a great way and a new way to connect to some readers that she probably wouldn't reach otherwise. Because here's the thing also, I know that a lot of people are concerned about the model we're actually using in Sweden when it comes to audiobooks, and the model we're using here, it's like Spotify but with books. So you pay a monthly fee and you can stream as many books as you like, which means that a lot of people like me, I listen to a lot of books each and every month, which means that the company actually don't make that much money off of me, but I also bring in more customers because I always talk about the books I'm listening to. So I recommend to a friend to listen to a book and send her an invite, and she will also start a subscription. But anyways, when it comes to things like this is a great opportunity for you to reach new readers. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but you need to be open to opportunities, because the thing is, the person who listens to an audiobook, that's usually not the same person who will buy the hardback. The person who loves hardbacks will buy it either way if they love the book, because we will see it as a trophy to put in our shelf. So yeah, at least that's the way it is for me. I read somewhere around 100 books a year. I don't have space for 100 new books a year in my bookshelf. Unfortunately, my apartment is too small for that. But one day, hopefully. But that's why also, sometimes I will read it an ebook. Sometimes I will listen to an audiobook. Sometimes I will buy the hardback. The next thing that you should do when it comes to crafting a sustainable author career is to build, decide what platforms you should start building on. This is where you start building long term. And this means that, it's not a one-time investment. You have to create a website. Yeah, that's a one-time investment. But if you want to, you can keep on building on that website, creating, different posts and stuff that will have good SEO and everything like that. And that can actually give back to you years and years later. I invested quite a lot of time in one of my websites. I wrote a lot of posts. I created pages for my consulting. I do marketing for authors. I do ghostwriting and a bunch of other things. And the thing is, since I put the time in, I did the SEO, and after a few years, actually, it started being able to reap the results, because now people will reach out to me. I don't have to market my services. Now people will reach out to me because they see my website on Google and stuff like that. So building that platform has really been worth it long term. And the same thing with social media. I am here on YouTube, obviously, but I'm also on TikTok, I'm on Instagram. And no, you don't have to be on every single platform. Of course not. But if you want to start building a readership and a loyal fan base, then you should look at where are my target audience for my books, and what does other authors within my genre do that makes them successful and that actually helps them sell more books. And this will be different answers for different one of you, so I'm not going to deep dive into that right now. But keep that in mind. And that is why I'm also on the different platforms, because for my fantasy and romance books, I need to be on TikTok. For my nonfiction and stuff like that, I need to be on Instagram. And also for my, other business stuff, I need to be on LinkedIn and Facebook. So as you can see, I also, I work in marketing. I love social media. So for me, it's not very hard for me to have different accounts and building my platforms over time. The one thing that I do struggle with keeping up a consistent workflow with right now is my email lists. So I have one in Swedish, and I am planning on creating a Substack in English for you guys. If you want to follow me for more, I can put the link down in the description so that I actually have to create something. That will be good exercise for me as well. So that is something that I am currently struggling with a little bit, because it's hard to do everything, because I also write articles for different websites and stuff like that. But you don't have to do it all, but you do need to take a look at which platforms you should exist on and make a plan to continuously post and promote yourself and talk about the things that you do, and continually also giving value to your audience. I think that's the most important part, because one thing that I do see is as soon as authors stop talking about their writings, stop talking about their books, stop talking about other people's books, people forget them, because they are also following 100 other authors that are still talking about their books. And that means that, okay, well, then I will forget about your book and I will probably pick up someone else's. That's the harsh truth. I know it's a little bit harsh, but this is why we use scheduling tools. We don't have to make it too hard on ourselves. And if you want more videos about how to create content on social media as an author, let me know in the comments. I will give that to you. But those videos don't go that well for me, so right now I haven't put in the time and effort to do it. I more talk about those stuffs on Instagram and TikTok. So yeah. But when you have your platforms and you've actually managed to do that, now we're coming to one of the most important steps when it comes to building a long-term career. And that is, you need to create a consistent writing schedule. Yes, I mean, write as often as you can. This is actually the inspiration for this book, because there were a lot of friends of mine that said, because I write each and every single day. I've been doing it for more than 800 days in a row right now, and that has boosted my authorship and author career so much. I have so many more books that are almost ready to get published, and it has made all the difference for me. And my friends, they came to me and they say, but I don't know what to write. My story isn't ready yet. I'm still doing the outline and stuff like that, but I still also want to have a consistent writing routine. So I created the 66-day writing challenge, which has like a writing prompt each and every single day. And each week has like different themes. So one week you'll be focusing on creating different characters. One week maybe you will learn how to write emotions. One week you will try different POVs just to see which ones resonates with you. So you will learn as well. The book has actually helped a lot of people to get started with their writing, because it takes 66 days to create a new habit, and that's what I want to teach people. Because after that, it will be easy, or a lot easier at least. It was for me. I started writing half an hour each and every single day, and after a few months, I realized that I couldn't live without it. I wanted to write each and every day. It was not hard anymore. So you need to try to create a consistent writing routine, and I will link a video when I talk a lot more about what I learned from writing each and every single day. I will link it in the description box as well. So check that one out after this one if you're taking this seriously. Now that you have a plan for your writing, you also need to be thinking about marketing. And yes, I know that a lot of you people want to turn off this video now because you don't want to be a seller, you don't want to market your books. But stay with me for a moment, because here's the thing. If you don't market your book, if you don't talk about your book, no one else will, because there are so many books out there. And if no one knows that your book exists, how are they going to read it? You need to talk about it. You need to be excited about it. And yeah, have a plan for marketing. And if you ask me, you should start market your authorship and your books as soon as you get the idea for the book. preferably. You can talk about it years before it comes out. That doesn't matter. That actually might even be better, because that way people will have heard about it so many times that they will actually be a little bit curious. And if your books are already out, that's fine too. Don't be discouraged. Just remember, you need to have some sort of marketing plan. And when it comes to marketing plans, what I recommend is that you have one plan for social media. You need to consistently reach out to new people and engage with your current readers on social media. So here, look at where your readers are. Is it on Instagram? Is it on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube? Or maybe you prefer audio. Maybe you have a podcast. Maybe you have a newsletter. But just decide on something and make sure that you have a plan to post consistently. And when you post consistently, it can't just be, buy my book, buy my book. Can't be that. You have to present self in a way so that it actually gives something to the person who follows you. So you maybe you inspire them, maybe you educate them, maybe you teach them something, or maybe you entertain them. Whatever it is, make sure that you bring value to them and not only sell. You could use the 80-20 rule here if you want to, if that makes it easier. So 20% of the posts that you post can be about your book and about oh, you should go buy it, or here's a review about the book, whatever. But 80% of the time should be about other stuff that has to do with your authorship and that has to do with your writing. Maybe it's you recommending other people's books, but make sure that your readers and your followers get to know you, but in the context of your, author brand, not just about everything in your life. But that is one of the things that you should do. And you should also make sure to have book launch plans. So whenever you're launching a new book, I would say even if you have a traditional publisher, you yourself also need to have some sort of strategy when it comes to book launch, the book launch. Will you be doing live Q&As on social media? Will you be posting extra about your book on social media? Or will you have a paid ad going? I don't know, but you always need to have some sort of plan when it comes to book launching. You can't just launch a book and hope that someone will find it, because obviously they won't, unfortunately. But that is what it is. And last but not least, try to collaborate with other writers and or other readers. See if there can be some sort of exchange, some sort of win-win where you, I don't know, maybe you read each other's books and review them, or maybe you have, go on each other's podcasts or whatever, but you try to find people to network with and collaborate with and help other authors reach out to their readers as well. And it's super, super important when it comes to marketing and social media, especially, that you are social. This means that you answer the comments, you like other people's posts, and you actually connect with people and make friends with them. This is what we're here for. So please do that and make sure that you look at the data to see what actually works, what people are actually engaging with. For me on social media right now, on Instagram, carousels they're working really well for me. Those are the ones that are bringing in most engagement and more new followers. That is why I need to make more carousels at the moment. A few months ago, it was Reels that was the thing that actually worked best for me. And I don't know if it's a change in the algorithm or if it's a change in people's behavior, but I look at the data and I learn from it. You should do the same. And last but not least, you need a plan to sustain your author career. You need to have a plan to go beyond the first book. So this means, first of all, write as much as you can, but also maybe you should diversify your portfolio. Maybe sometimes you write short stories, or you do ghostwriting, or think about what you can offer and how you can diversify your income streams, because just relying on the incomes from royalties from books, that might be hard. It could work, but it could also be a little bit dangerous. Portfolio that is your solopreneurship with different income streams and different things that you can offer others. And also remember that it usually takes quite a few books before you actually start making money off of your books. This means that you need to build a backlist of books, and maybe it's book number 5 that actually kicks it off and makes sure that people start reading all of your books in the book series or in your portfolio. For me, I can see that the more books I put out there, the more people find my other books. But I also see that people seem to be very interested in the fantasy series that I'm working on right now, which makes me really happy and excited about actually soon launching it. But there, I've planned it will be 6 books in that series at least. And that is because I want to create a backlist with stories that people can, come back to. But we'll see. Also, I have a nonfiction series that I'm working on. I've written the drafts for book 1 and 2. And apart from that, I hope to become monetized here on YouTube. That would also help a bit. And I have my marketing consulting and stuff like that. So I try to diversify my portfolio as much as possible to have a reliable income stream. And also because usually it will fluctuate over time. There will be periods where my writing will be, when a lot of people will be reading my books, and there will be periods where not that many read them. That's also why I want to have different income streams and not just rely on one. And I want to build a portfolio with a lot of different things. And also, this is one of the reasons why I've tried hybrid publishing. I've done some self-publishing. And I don't know if I told you guys here on YouTube, but my fantasy series that I was going to publish myself, there was a traditional publisher that actually reached out to me and asked to read the prequel and the first book of the series, and said that they wanted to publish it traditionally in Swedish. So I'm going with them instead of going the indie way. They seem like amazing publishers. And also it would be great to have, other author colleagues and a team around me, because that series is so precious to me. So I'm super happy. And also it would be so great to see the difference, because another book that I'm planning on still releasing at my own publishing house. So I'm going to try the indie way with another book. So yeah, I'm diversifying everything to see what will work for me. And I think that you should do this too, and not just think that, okay, but if I don't get a traditional publishing deal and an agent, my career is over. It doesn't have to be that way. But it also doesn't have to be like, if I don't go indie, nothing will work. It doesn't have to be like that either. You need to find your way and try different things to see what works for you. And I think being adaptable in this ever-evolving landscape is probably the key thing that will help you have a sustainable author career long term. And yeah, that's all for today. I hope that you got a lot of value out of this video. If you have any questions for me or any thoughts, please share them in the comments. I would love to hear about what you plan to do with your writing and your author career. Have a great weekend. I will talk to you soon. Bye.